Alright, there's a few things I wanted to say about AOC pertaining to a recent tweet she sent out, and I know I've done a few Ocasio Cortez videos recently, and maybe I should stop, but frankly, I can't. I'm a bit addicted, but she just keeps giving me gold to work with. I can't ignore it. So this tweet she sent out is just another small example of how disconnected Ocasio Cortez is from those who criticize her. It also shows her slight schizophrenia, if you will, in terms of her demeanor, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But first, why do I say there's a disconnect between her and those who criticize her? Well, she thinks that people are mocking where she comes from. She is just incorrect. No one is mocking where she comes from in and of itself. The reason why people have a lot to say about where she comes from is because she incessantly tried to cast herself as someone from a tough neighborhood. She was desperately trying to give off the facade that she came from nothing, and therefore she has this special insight into people's lives who have nothing. Well, it's important to point out that this was disingenuous, as she came from a relatively mundane, decent background. There's nothing wrong with that, but people rightly called her out for trying to give the impression that she somehow has this street-level cred. So when she says people are mocking where she came from, she's just wrong. It has nothing to do with where she came from, but it has everything to do with just her and how disingenuous she is. If she had come out and said, hey look, I may have given a false impression of the circumstances of my upbringing, I apologize for that, don't support me because of where you think I came from, support me because you agree with me on democratic socialism and the Green New Deal, etc., etc. If she had said that, I still wouldn't support her, obviously, but I would respect it. I would at least say fair enough, but she doesn't do that. She just illustrates an inability to understand what is being said to her. So then she goes on to say something I kind of agree with, but not really in a good way as far as she's concerned. She says people are saying that they're going to send her back to being a waitress, and she correctly points out that there's nothing wrong with being a waitress, and being in Congress doesn't intrinsically make you better than being a waitress. Well, on that, we agree. Waiters and waitresses are far superior to politicians. They receive their money on a voluntary basis. They serve a direct need to people. They don't pass laws that lock people up for victimless crimes. They don't make money by force. They don't dig us into a hole of debt for $22 trillion. They don't send young people they never met to foreign lands they know nothing about to fight, kill, and or die for reasons that are ambiguous at best. They don't spy on millions of people. They don't give out corporate handouts. They don't sell arms and train violent criminals and terrorists. They don't misallocate resources to the tune of a few $1 trillion a year. They don't distort the housing markets. They don't pay farms to not grow crops to keep prices high. And they don't confiscate everyone's money through the threat of violence to do all this nonsense. So yeah, AOC is right. Nothing about being in Congress makes you better than a waitress. In fact, it's the opposite. If AOC quit her position in the House and went back to bartending, I would think that would be a step up. Obviously not in terms of the money she'd be making, but she would no longer be a member of an organization that causes nationwide damage like Congress does. Alright, and then she finally says that their job is to serve, not to rule. This is odd because I vaguely remember her recently saying things like she's the boss and we're in charge, not those other politicians that aren't fervent and insane enough. Then she flips the script and tries to come across as this saintly public servant, just trying delicately to tap the levers of society to make things a little bit better. This seems a little schizophrenic to me, but I know where it comes from. When you need to whip people up into supporting you, you've got to come across as a hardened leader that is going to fight tooth and nail and steamroll over the opposition and impose your will on the people. But then when you're facing some criticism, it's time to act the part of just a little nice, trivial servant. I see the political machinery churning away in her head, and I don't think that facade is going to get by any thinking person. But that is it for now. Subscribe, like, give some commentary if you want, whatever you want to do, but it would make me happy if you did. Alright, my friends, see you later.